Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Tonight we're going to put the first two Alice in Chains albums against each other. Facelift versus Dirt, track-by-track album battle. Two great albums. I've considered Facelift to be my favorite Alice in Chains album for the last few years, but honestly, I don't know. I've been listening to both of these, plus Tripod, and I don't know how I feel anymore. It could really be a toss-up at this point, but either way, two great albums. Let's get into this. Track one, we have We Die Young versus Them Bones. Two great openers. These songs really do remind me of each other. They're just really short, 2.5 minute, in-your-face, heavy tracks. But I think what puts Them Bones over the top for me is Lane Staley's screams. I just love the way that it kicks off with Lane's "ah" right off the bat. I think that's great. So I'm going to give the edge to Them Bones. So let's mark that one down for Dirt. Next up we have Man in the Box versus Damn That River. Man in the Box is a classic. It's one of the songs that sort of pulled me into Alice in Chains, but my favorite Alice in Chains song of all time is Damn That River, so I gotta go with that. So another point for Dirt. Next up we have Sea of Sorrow and Rain When I Die. Again, two great songs. I love both of them. I think I'll give the edge to Sea of Sorrow on this one, but that's tough because I do love Rain When I Die. Especially love the way that Lane sings Rain When I Die. The chorus of that song is great, but I think Sea of Sorrow slightly edges it out for me. Next up we have Bleed the Freak versus Down in a Hole. I like Down in a Hole, but I'm not as big a fan of it as I think a lot of people are. It's actually my least favorite song on the first half of Dirt. I love Bleed the Freak, so I gotta go with Bleed the Freak on this one. Pretty fairly easily. Next up we have I Can't Remember versus Sick Man. Both songs are awesome, but I'm going with Sick Man on this one. I love the drum intro to that song. Really killer track. Sick Man's gonna get the point there. Alright, the first half ends up with the two sort of epic tracks, if you will, Love Hate Love and Rooster. The first half of these albums are very similar to me. You know, start off with kind of really short in-your-face tracks. Track 3 and 4 kind of slow things down a little bit. Track 6 is like the epic track. I'm going to go with Rooster between the two. Love Hate Love is good. It's not really my favorite song on Facelift, but it's a decent track, but I'm definitely going Rooster on that one. It's the second half of these albums that are very, very different. They go in just totally opposite directions. Facelift has a lot of songs in the second half that really wouldn't sound too out of place on like a Skid Row album, or you can kind of hear maybe like a Guns N' Roses kind of influence. Definitely some 80s holdover, some 80s influence holdover that Alice in Chains kind of explores. Sunshine is really about as far away from the doomy, gloomy kind of atmosphere that Alice in Chains usually puts out. Put You Down, honestly, that riff sounds very Skid Row-esque. I Know Something About You, kind of funky, so they just definitely try some different things on the second half of this. Second half of this album, they kind of double down on the really heavy, doomy, dark, and they really get into, lyrically, the drug addictions and heroin addictions. I think with Junkhead, Dirt, Godsmack, and Hate to Feel kind of all go down that, sort of, I don't know if I want to say concept, but kind of has a similar concept. But they really go two different directions from here on out. So let's see if Facelift can come back and win this thing, because at the halfway point we're sitting here. Dirt has 4, Facelift has 2, so let's get ready for the second half here. Alright, so the second half of these albums kicks off with It Ain't Like That versus Junkhead. Junkhead took me a little bit to get into. It was one of the last songs on the album that really I kind of got into. so to speak. I do like it now. I never disliked it, but it took a while for me to kind of get it. It ain't like that. I've always kind of dug that one. Kind of has that slower bow, wow, wow, wow thing going on, which I think is kind of cool. I'm gonna give this one a facelift actually. Though Junkhead has grown on me over time, so I'm gonna give that one to facelift. Next up, we have Sunshine versus Dirt. Sunshine is probably probably like the least doomy Alice in Chains song that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm gonna go Dirt on this one. Nothing against Sunshine, but I just like Dirt a little bit better. So Dirt's going to score there. Next up, we have Put You Down, which would not feel out of place on a Skid Row album. That sounds like such a Skid Row riff to me. It's unreal. You could have convinced me that it came off of Slave to the Grind if I didn't know any better. It's going against Godsmack, which Godsmack actually took a lot. Really had to grow on me. I didn't care for that one when I first heard it, but I've come to really appreciate the way that Lane just controls his voice in that song. The way that he sings it is unique and incredible that he can pull that off and sound so good doing it. And then whatever's going on with the guitar in the chorus of that song, the bow 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 bow, that is really really cool. I've really grown to like that one, so I am going to take Godsmack actually over Put You Down. So another point for Dirt. Confusion, and we're going to skip Iron Gland, and we're going to go with Hate to Feel. This is actually a battle of my least favorite song on each album, but I definitely like Hate to Feel better than Confusion. I'm not real into Confusion. That one never really did grow on me that much, but Hate to Feel is a pretty cool song, even though I would consider it my least favorite on Dirt. Next up, we have I Know Something About You versus Angry Chair. As I said earlier, I Know Something About You is kind of unique, almost has an extreme kind of a feel to it. Definitely something different for Alice in Chains, something they really wouldn't do again, but it's a cool song nonetheless. But I gotta go with Angry Chair. What a awesome, angry, heavy, menacing track that is. I freaking love Angry Chair. That one is gonna get the point for me. And then we're gonna close things out with Real Thing versus Wood, two awesome closers. Real Thing is really, really cool. I like it, but I mean, it's going against Wood. I don't know that I can put it over Wood. So Wood is going to win that one. And final score, Dirt wins by a score of 9-3. So I don't know that I saw that kind of a blowout coming, but Dirt is going to win the battle for me. So yeah, I've definitely been rethinking which one of these is my favorite Alice in Chains album, and you can throw Tripod in the mix too. I've been stuck on all three of these lately, so great stuff. Dirt's going to win this battle. So let me know in the comments below how you would battle these two albums out. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I will catch you next time.